We're so excited to welcome into the Big East Roadshow Susan Lester, Butler women's basketball alum, local Indiana kid. You were able to come out, play for Butler yourself. How important was that for you, being a local from Indiana, coming out to play for Butler?
I would say it was kind of top of my list when I was in the recruiting process. I lived about 45 minutes northeast of here, and my family has always been a huge part of my support system when it comes to basketball. So for them to be able to come and watch me play and support me throughout my collegiate career meant a lot to me. And with our schedule at the time, everything was in a driving distance. So they were able to attend a lot of my games throughout my career, and that was just really, really important to me.
The culture and the camaraderie here at Butler is something that was true when you were a player and still now is true for the athletes on the team today. Could you describe what it's like playing for Butler?
Yes, I would say, the motto is the Butler way, and that's something that has just stuck with me throughout my playing career, even as an adult now in teaching, just kind of following the guidelines of the Butler way and just kind of striving to always do my best and to reach for high expectations and things like that. And it was just such a family environment, and still to this day, everywhere you go, if you wear Butler gear, you always run into somebody that's like, did you go to Butler? Did you play? Do you know somebody? And just to have that is really neat.
Well, talking about the Butler gear, the swag is amazing. I love it. It's amazing. But in looking at where the Dogs are today, Austin Parkinson coming in for the program, could you just describe how great it is as an alum to see the program continuing to grow and to thrive?
Yes, with Coach Parkinson coming in, it's been really neat to see just the culture kind of getting back even. Just when he came in, it was right away noticed. He started reaching out to alumni. We had several alumni events right away, which was just made a huge impact for us to be able to make those connections again, and even to meet with the current players. And some of the girls, it's neat, I've seen play in high school because I coach, and we coached against some of them, so just making those connections. And it was obvious right away, they've really bought into his philosophy of coaching, and I think they're just going to keep getting better every game, every year, so that's exciting.
You brought it up, so we have to talk about it. You're coaching yourself now.
Yes.
Indiana hoops. What is Indiana hoops like in high school?
There's nothing like it. We talk about that all the time with the high school players. You might not realize how lucky you are right now to be a part of Indiana basketball. There's just nothing like it anywhere else. There's just so much history here, and it's just a different grit all around. So it's always exciting. Just gyms full of people who just love basketball.
I love that. Susan, when you look at Butler in the Big East, and even just Big East women's basketball as well, or even we could extend it for women's basketball as a whole, how exciting is it for you, for someone who played, you also had a great opportunity to go play in Europe and now coaching yourself, the growth of women's basketball? How do you kind of put that into perspective of where you've seen it grow?
I think it's safe to say women's basketball as a whole is just growing at a rapid speed. I think, a lot of it has to do with social media and these types of things here, but and seeing gyms that are sold out. And one of my favorite parts is even seeing the girls' youth looking up to these college athletes and having these role models now to look up to and set these goals for themselves. And it's really exciting. And part of me just feels like all of us alumni and stuff have been kind of a part of that growth. So that's personal, and that just means a lot.
I have a question for you. When you think of basketball,
yes,
from an athlete to now a coach, what has this game given you?
This game has shaped who I am as a person. And not just when I'm on the court or just when I'm coaching, but even as a mom and as a teacher. And it's just taught me to persevere in life and just strive for greatness. And I try to push that into my students and my athletes and my son. And it really is just kind of the backbone of who I am now.
Susan, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the whole entire day.
Awesome. This is awesome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Thanks.